Hey, I'm Ronaldo Padilla. Welcome back to the Bronx Journal. Usually people don't associate debate clubs with Bronx public schools. Well, Mr. Eric Fogel has something to say about that. He is the director of the New York City Urban Debate League. Initially, the program reached only 5 schools. Now, thanks to Mr. Fogel's time and effort, the debate league has expanded to include 40 schools and 300 students citywide. A nonprofit program, the Debate League has received multiple accolades, including the White House Award of Arts and Humanities. Here I have with me Mr. Fogel, Shawanda Weems, Maria Panetta, and Janeja Johnson. Mr. Fogel, why don't you start off by telling us what exactly is the Urban Debate League?
It's a free citywide debate league for all schools, all students, all grade levels. Every month we have free debate tournaments for any student in the city. We have workshops, free summer debate camps, and we have a travel team that competes around the nation.
All right, now this is for all of you guys. What does debating mean to you? Let's start with Janeja.
Okay. To me, debate is, well, it helps my future, like, because I want to become a lawyer. So it's like, it's a goal, or it's like a starter of what I want to do in my future. Something I'm actually interested in, that I can get involved with, like, knowing the topic, even though the topic may not be the best interest, but it's like I can actually get into it and learn new things with it.
Okay, Maria?
I believe debate is a place where you can express, well, not really express, but you can learn new things about current events and therefore take it to good places.
All right, Ms. Weems?
Well, ultimately, as a teacher, debate has opened up doors for our after-school program students and given them the opportunity under Mr. Fogel's leadership to have interaction and exchange with current events and topics that they wouldn't normally have time to engage in within the classroom setting, and bring their interest to it, and then become passionate about topics that some of them, their parents wouldn't even be able to discuss, based on the different diasporas that we actually touch within the context of debate.
Yeah, Mr. Fogel?
No, yeah, I was a debater in middle school. I was afraid of public speaking in class, so I signed up for the debate team, and I've been a debater since. We firmly believe every single student, every single school should have a debate team. Every student can be a great debater. It's incredible the knowledge you're learning, college level skills, college level subjects when you're in middle school.
Yeah, and for Mr. Fogel and Ms. Weems, what is the goal exactly with this program? Where you want to take it?
Well, for us, we want to just give our students exposure. The idea of giving them the opportunity to discuss, to debate, in the context of the word, and to be comfortable with public speakers. There are adults that are not comfortable talking in front of audiences.
Yeah,
so if we can engage them with this kind of powerful skill at age 12 and 13, then the sky's the limit for our students.
Mr. Fogel?
Yeah, on any given weekend, our students are talking about U.S.-China relations, transportation reform. So it's incredible the conversations and the education that's happening after school every day, tournaments every weekend, from Friday night to Sunday night. It's incredible, and yeah.
And Janeja, what do you want to take debate? Do you want to be a politician or what? Like, what?
Well, I want to become a lawyer, so yeah.
Did this debate role take part in your decision to become a lawyer?
Yes, because now I'm familiar with public speaking. I'm not afraid to speak in front of everyone, and now know I can have a judge that's open, and I can speak to publicly.
Maria?
Oh, if I want to be a lawyer?
No, where do you want to take debating?
I want to take debate into future actions, therefore be in a position where Mr. Fogel is, teaching younger students about debate and how the positive things that it brings you.
Nice.
And it's really interesting. She's at the school, Ms. Weems' school, the School for Environmental Studies, PSMS 15, and the after school Good Shepherds. So they're arguing and learning about environmental studies and also applying that into the world of debates.
Yeah.
So it's an incredible educational opportunity. And they were city champions last weekend.
All right, when I go to your website, Mr. Fogel, I keep seeing the word rigorous. You keep describing as debating as rigorous. How much time is consumed in debating? Let's start with Ms. Weems.
Hours.
Hours?
Hours. Lots of time. We want our students to become knowledgeable and engaged in the topic. So it's not something that you can just read over your homework the night before and go into a debate and win. These students study, they prepare, they have mock debates. One of our former students, Ms. Fogel's current student, Sir Angel Liviano, really connects with them in the topic, and they do research, and the exposure to expand their knowledge base. So it's something that goes days at a time, for weeks at a time, to get to the level that these students are able to compete at.
Maria? How much time do you spend in preparing?
It's a lot of time because, as the quote says, practice makes perfect. Therefore, you want to be the best that you can at debate, so you study hard for what you think you deserve.
Yeah, Joanda?
Usually we get out of school at 3 o'clock. The earliest we leaving, if we know we're not in good standard is 8 o'clock. So, and then we have a 45-minute class. So
Yeah.
hours like they.
It's a tournament. We have our students from the Bronx will be competing at the national championships this weekend from Friday to Monday.
Yeah.
4 days of debate from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
You won't find any more rigorous academic program than debate. Her school, Cap International on Fordham, is competing at Harvard tournament, Yale tournaments, all these tournaments every single month, and so you're putting in more hours than you do in debate throughout the year-round program than a typical school day.
Yeah, Mr. Fogle, how's the tournament format like? Can you explain it to us?
So the New York City Urban Debate League, we have a monthly tournament, free for all students every single month, and it has 3 rounds of competition and then an award ceremony. That ranges from the local tournaments to a national tournament such as Harvard or the championships, which could be 3, 4, even 5 days.
Wow. Does this transfer to college? Like, do they go eventually to college debate teams, these students?
Yeah, the majority of colleges have debate programs. In fact, the Harvard debate coach drove up to a tournament to watch our high school debaters from the Bronx and recruiting them for the Harvard debate team. They receive full scholarships to Dartmouth. We have over 95% of our graduates going to college into debate programs, and so it's one of the best college and career preparation programs.
Do students always find because there's topics in these debates, right? Do they ever find like their morals conflicting with the topic at hand?
It's an interesting question. I'll let the students take that one.
All right. All right, I'll give you an example. For example, let's say you had to debate about gay marriage and you're against gay marriage. Not saying that you are, but let's say you are. How would you approach that situation? Like, would you go to your teacher, Mr. Fogle, or how would you?
Well, usually like we don't really get hit with topics we disagree, and if we do, it's like we have to believe in it. Even if we don't, we have to believe in it just to sound powerful and be confident.
All right, Maria, is that important, trying to like look at the other side of the argument, really?
Yes, definitely, because you can have your opinion on a current situation, but at the same time, you never know. You also have to think about the other opinions on the other side of the situation.
All right. Mr. Fogle, is that what you guys want?
Yeah, it's an incredible skill to be able, and it's called switch sides debating, where you're able to, no matter what the topic is, you have to understand the other side and understand the perspective. And that's an incredible skill for college, career, and life, to understand there's an argument and perspective for every single issue, and not to get dogmatic on issues and this is the absolute truth, but to respect everyone's opinion.
Yeah. Ms. Weems, when I think of debating, I think of really smart people. Like, one person that comes to mind is like Barack Obama. Do you have to be smart to debate or be in a debating team?
Well, Barack Obama had to work to get to the status that he's at. And that's the beauty of debate. You can start wherever you are and become engaged in the topic and engaged in the curriculum of debate and take it to the next level. So we've had students within our program that weren't the highest academic working students, and because they've realized that they can be passionate about the topics and passionate about debate, that trickled back into their academic lives.
Okay.
So you don't have to start off as a scholar, but ultimately when you become engaged in debate, you end up a scholar.
All right.
We have special ed students in our program, to valedictorians in our program.
Special ed students?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Wow.
Any student who's passionate about can be a great debater. And there's a Bronx's own debater, Sonia Sotomayor, who's now the first Hispanic Supreme Court justice.
Do the special ed kids get special treatment because, you know, knowing their situation, we guys have to cater to them?
No, we're all in it for debate. And my top debaters at my first school in the Bronx, there's a student having problems in class, always arguing with teachers. So they asked to join the debate team, and he became our top debater.
Put those good skills to use.
All right. Now, my next question is, when I think of debating, I think of politicians, and like, for kids, that sort of stuff is kind of boring. That's what I think. How do you make debating cool for these kids so more of them could join it or maybe spectate in your tournaments?
Well, I think it kind of changes the classroom environment. The traditional classroom is like the teacher lecturing and the student being passive and silent, and you're in trouble if you talk or ask too many questions. And so there's nothing special I do. I think since Socrates in the ancient Greece, debate has always been there in the classroom. The teachers to use it as the best tool for academic learning. That the students should be the ones standing up and talking and persuading and asking questions and arguing with teachers, and that's the best form of learning.
Janisha, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you said. Like, usually, like, it's gonna be things that we don't really like, but it's like it's better to learn than not to know because due to the boringness.
Maria?
With debating topics, as Mr. Fogle said about the teacher, I believe it's good if you were to stand up. Well, not really stand up, but state your opinions and your perspectives, and also let the students become the teachers once in a while.
All right. How does it feel being up there in the podium when you're debating out there?
Well, usually it's like a little nervous. Like when I first started, it's like, oh gosh, I'm nervous. I don't know these people, and then, like I don't know the judge. But then it's like after, like, okay, I want to persuade you, so I'm not gonna be nervous in front of you. I'm gonna show you that I'm strong and I'm passionate about it. So this is why you should vote for me.
Maria?
It's the same thing. When you're up in the podium, you're very nerve-wracking. You think of simple things like, oh, do I have something in my face? Or is there something in my teeth? But the main thing about debate is that you have to get the judges to vote for your side.
Yeah.
So that's what you focus on the most.
What is the relationship between the students and the coaches? Ms. Williams?
I guess it's a reciprocal relationship.
Okay.
So it's the idea of just the turning over of the power structure of a classroom dynamic. So for our school, for Good Shepherd Services and our after-school program, Sir Angel comes in and she's on their level. She's in their age bracket. So we utilize students to teach debate at our site so that there's a different level of camaraderie, so that I'm coming in on the tail end. So I'm supporting what the students are doing instead of being the person that's in charge. And I think that helps to sell debate and change the dynamic of the perception of it being boring. So I think we need to change how we perceive debate. It's not boring, it's exciting, it's invigorating, it's the opportunity to engage in conversations. They talk all day, now we're giving them something to talk about and get credit for.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of debate.
Do you have any contact info, Mr. Fogel? Because we don't have much time.
Yeah, no, our website, nycdebate.org. Go to that website, has phone numbers, emails. Any school can start a debate program for free. Any student can come to a debate tournament for free. So we just want every student to be a great debater.
Well, guys, thank you for joining me here in the Bronx Journal.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you for
us.
having us.
We'll be back here more with the Bronx Journal.